reading the whole thread and then having a better understanding. It was some people that just read the post and questioned why I did what I did, and once I explained, they had a better understanding. Not saying that they still agreed with me. They had a better understanding. They didn't come in there talking to me like they knew me. Talking to me like what they ate made me shit. I said that a lot in my Jay-Z voice on that post. It's a good thing what y'all eat don't make me shit. I even said it's a good thing a person with lesser confidence did not come in there, because they would have crushed them. I think that is the epitome of why content creators will have their comments shut off and things like that. Because people are harsh. People are harsh. And I said it in that post. I said, although I didn't know I chose violence on this comment, as much as I come onto public social media and say, this is public social media, what you post, anybody has the right to speak on, and they did. And they had the right to call me out of my name if they chose to. In my opinion, it made you just as ignorant as you felt like I was, if not more. Because just like I said, that was 20 years ago for me. I have matured. My daughters came into the post. My baby girl, the one I thought was going to choose violence with me, she didn't. But the other one chose violence. The oldest one, the one that didn't choose violence, was who my comment was about. She was the child in question. My ex-husband knew for 9 years. For 40 weeks, that's how long you be pregnant, and 9 years. And then 9 years after that, you allowed somebody to come into your ear and say, oh, I think you should have a DNA test. I ain't mad you want a DNA test, bro. You had 9 years to get it. I ain't never say don't get no DNA test. So when you allow your emotions, because that was his emotions that allowed her to talk in his ear. So when you allow your emotions to be triggered, other people have emotions that can be triggered. And I was in my 20s. And that's what I did. I don't regret anything in my life. Why? Because although those people thought that they could speak about my character, there are people that know me. Even my daughter, me and my daughters, especially Mini-Me 3000. The one that didn't choose, the one that the post was about. We have our issues. That's why I call the girl Mini-Me 3000. We go through a thing from time to time. She is her mama's baby. But I've always said, she's not going to be like fuck with her mama, and vice versa. It's not going down. Period. One thing for sure and two things for certain. So, nobody on that post made me feel bad. And then somebody went on and commented on somebody's comment that was defending me, like, all these men and women in here that are coming for her, and you gonna defend her? I just went on that post because I guess she would look, and God I had to just let it go. God is teaching me sometimes you just gotta let it go, because the woman never came back and responded to it. I guess she was just like, I said what I said, I did what I did. But I said, because all through the last 3 days, I have been referring to them as the emotional angries and the emotional dusty angries. So I went on to say, so you imagine that some emotional dusty angry women is going to change the fact that there were people in here? See, that was the masses that had a problem with me, and I don't do what the masses do. I probably would have been on the post the same way she was, trying to figure out where the one in the middle was. Because anything way over there, because that's what I started yelling to, oh, y'all sound like far-right Kevin Samuels and far-right Corey Holcomers. And somebody came up there and was like, Kevin Samuels was a great man. He was. You never go back and check, because y'all read over things. They kept skipping over things in the post and just grabbing onto what they wanted to grab onto. As you did in that Kevin Samuels post. I never said Kevin Samuels wasn't a great man. I said y'all are some far right. Y'all hear about the far right? Y'all don't like to talk about the far left. But we is always talking about the far right. We is always talking about the far right Republicans. Because somebody even came in there and said, you must be a liberal. And somebody that had a problem with me then directed their issue to this person. Like, somebody always got to come in here talking political and all this stuff like that. I said, well, actually, sir, I voted for Donald Trump in 2020. I don't regret anything that I do in my life because you have to live and learn and grow. And somebody came on the post and was like, yeah, we all got our something. But he said we all got our something. He said he knew that the man was emotional in there. My ex-husband and myself, we don't have a bad relationship right now after all of that. When my daughters went on that post, my oldest daughter said, because she chose violence, she saw them coming for her mama and she chose violence. And they said that I had brainwashed them. Some people just think for themselves and some people think on a spectrum, like she. That's really not thinking at all. Critically thinking is going to allow you to weigh, we're going to talk about it, to weigh out before you speak. Weigh out the options of what you're going to say before you speak, not just speaking from your emotions like I did 20 years ago. That's why I won't let anybody on that post, because all y'all were doing was speaking out y'all emotions. Y'all were angry. It's an emotion. It's an emotion. Yeah. But yes, that's what happened, and I took myself off of the post. My daughter said to them, I'm telling y'all the facts. Y'all are speculating toward a stranger, things y'all have no clue about. I'm telling y'all the facts as come from my mother and my father. Why? Because when they took my story to him, he says, yeah, that's the story. Why? Because my ex-husband know I ain't no liar. And we all know I ain't perfect. I ain't never told my story to my children as if I was perfect. Never. Once. Period. But what I'm not going to do is let an overly emotional man who thinks that he's right just because he's a man discount me. Ever. Period.